In the tapestry of our lives, we are often interwoven with countless threads of human connections. Yet not all these threads are spun from the same resilient fiber. Some are woven with strength and virtue, while others are frayed with deceit and discord. As students of the ancient philosophy of Stoicism, we are called to discern with clarity and resolve which threads to embrace and which to sever, for within this discernment lies the path to tranquility and inner peace. Today, we embark on a journey to explore 10 types of individuals whose presence in our lives threatens to unravel the fabric of our equanimity. With the wisdom of the Stoics as our guide, we shall learn to say no to these detrimental influences, and in doing so, fortify our souls against the tumultuous winds of fate. Number 1. The complacent companion. In the bustling marketplace of life, we encounter those who tread the path of least resistance, content to drift along the currents of circumstance without purpose or direction. These individuals, like wayward ships without a rudder, may seem harmless at first glance. Yet, their complacency is a contagion that seeps into the marrow of our being, sapping our resolve and blinding us to the higher callings of virtue. In the words of the Stoic philosopher Epictetus, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. We must resist the allure of complacency, for it is the enemy of progress and the harbinger of mediocrity. Let us instead surround ourselves with companions who ignite the flame of ambition within us, who challenge us to reach beyond the confines of our comfort zone and strive for excellence in all that we do. Number 2. The malicious manipulator. Beneath the veneer of charm and charisma lies the heart of the malicious manipulator, whose sole purpose is to exploit and deceive for personal gain. Like the serpent in the Garden of Eden, they weave a web of deceit around their unsuspecting victims, ensnaring them in a tangled labyrinth of lies and half-truths. Seneca, the renowned Stoic philosopher, admonished, "He who does not prevent a crime when he can, encourages it." We must not passively tolerate the machinations of the malicious manipulator, for to do so is to condone their wickedness. Instead, we must stand firm in our principles and refuse to be complicit in their schemes. By cultivating a discerning mind and a steadfast heart, we can shield ourselves from their toxic influence and walk the path of righteousness with unwavering resolve. Number 3. The envious adversary. In the arena of life, we are bound to encounter adversaries who covet our success and resent our achievements. Fueled by envy, they seek to undermine our accomplishments and diminish our worth in the eyes of others. Yet the true measure of our worth lies not in the applause of the crowd, but in the integrity of our character and the depth of our convictions. As the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius observed, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." We must resist the temptation to retaliate in kind against our envious adversaries, for in doing so, we only perpetuate the cycle of animosity and resentment. Instead, let us lead by example, demonstrating through our actions the virtues of magnanimity and goodwill. By rising above the petty squabbles of envy, we elevate ourselves to a higher plane of existence where the light of virtue shines brightest. Number 4. The cynical critic. Beneath the guise of constructive criticism lurks the cynical critic, whose words are laced with venom and vitriol. Like vultures circling overhead, they swoop down upon their prey with merciless precision, tearing apart their hopes and dreams with callous indifference. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus counseled, "It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows." We must approach the words of the cynical critic with humility and discernment, recognizing that their criticisms may reveal truths about ourselves that we would rather not confront. Yet, we must also guard against the temptation to internalize their negativity, for their words are but a reflection of their own inner turmoil and insecurities. Let us instead cultivate a spirit of resilience and self-assurance, drawing strength from within to weather the storms of adversity and emerge unscathed. Number 5. The fickle friend. In the tapestry of friendship, there are those whose loyalty is as steadfast as the northern star, guiding us through the darkest of nights with unwavering constancy. Yet there are also those whose friendship is as fleeting as the morning dew, evaporating at the first sign of trouble or hardship. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca observed, one of the most beautiful qualities of true friendship is to understand and to be understood. We must seek out companions who embody the virtues of loyalty and integrity, who stand by our side through thick and thin, offering solace in times of sorrow and rejoicing in times of triumph. Let us not waste our precious time and energy on fair-weather friends who abandon us at the first sign of trouble, but instead invest in relationships built on a foundation of trust and mutual respect. Number 6, the indulgent instigator. In a world awash with temptation and excess, we are often lured astray by the siren song of indulgence, beckoning us to forsake the path of virtue in pursuit of fleeting pleasure. Yet, the pleasures of the flesh are but fleeting shadows, dissipating like smoke upon the wind, and leaving behind naught but emptiness and regret. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus admonished, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." We must resist the allure of indulgence and cultivate instead a spirit of moderation and self-discipline. Let us surround ourselves with companions who uplift and inspire us, who encourage us to pursue the higher pleasures of the mind and spirit, rather than the fleeting pleasures of the flesh. By exercising restraint and self-control, we can free ourselves from the shackles of desire and embrace instead the boundless joys of inner peace and contentment. Number 7, the pessimistic pundit. In the echoing chambers of our minds, the voice of the pessimistic pundit whispers tales of doom and despair, casting a pall of gloom over even the brightest of days. Like a dark cloud on the horizon, they obscure our vision and obscure our vision, blinding us to the possibilities that lie beyond the horizon. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius counseled, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." We must guard against the corrosive influence of pessimism, for it is a poison that corrodes the soul and extinguishes the flame of hope within us. Let us instead cultivate a spirit of optimism and resilience, embracing each new challenge as an opportunity for growth and self-discovery. By harnessing the power of positive thinking, we can transcend the limitations of our circumstances and forge a brighter future for ourselves and those we hold dear. Number 8, the gossiping gossiper. In the tangled web of human relationships, the gossiping gossiper lurks like a spider in the shadows, spinning tales of intrigue and scandal to ensnare their unwitting victims. Like a virus, their words spread like wildfire, infecting the minds of all who hear them with doubt and suspicion. The Stoic philosopher Seneca admonished, "We should every night call ourselves to an account. What infirmity have I mastered today? What passions opposed? What temptation resisted? What virtue acquired?" We must resist the temptation to engage in idle gossip, for it is a distraction that leads us away from the pursuit of virtue and inner peace. Let us instead cultivate a spirit of discretion and discernment, speaking only words that uplift and inspire rather than tear down and destroy. By guarding our tongues and our hearts against the poison of gossip, we can create a haven of trust and goodwill in an often treacherous world. Number 9, the entitled egotist. In the grand theater of life, the entitled egotist struts upon the stage with arrogance and hubris, demanding adulation and acclaim from all who dare to gaze upon their lofty visage. Yet, beneath the mask of self-assuredness lies a fragile ego, wounded by the slightest slight and quick to lash out in retaliation. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus counseled, "Man is not worried by real problems so much as by his imagined anxieties about real problems." We must resist the temptation to indulge in the trappings of ego and entitlement, for they are but illusions that lead us astray from the path of true fulfillment. Let us instead cultivate a spirit of humility and gratitude, recognizing that true greatness lies not in the adulation of others, but in the quiet satisfaction of a life well lived. By relinquishing our attachment to external validation, we can find true freedom and inner peace in the simple joys of existence. Number 10, the toxic tyrant. In the crucible of human relationships, the toxic tyrant reigns supreme, wielding power and influence with ruthless efficiency to bend others to their will. Like a puppet master pulling the strings of their unwitting victims, they manipulate and control with impunity, leaving behind a trail of broken spirits and shattered dreams in their wake. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius counseled, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." We must resist the tyranny of the toxic tyrant, for they are but powerless against the strength of our indomitable will. Let us instead cultivate a spirit of resilience and self-reliance, drawing upon the inner reservoirs of strength and courage that lie within us all. By refusing to be cowed by their intimidation tactics and standing firm in our principles, we can reclaim our autonomy and forge our own destiny free from the shackles of oppression. In the crucible of adversity, the true measure of our character is revealed. It is not our outward circumstances that define us, but the choices we make in the face of adversity that shape our destiny. As students of Stoicism, we are called to embrace the challenges of life with courage and fortitude, knowing that within the crucible of adversity lies the opportunity for growth and self-discovery. Let us say no to those who would seek to undermine our virtue and diminish our worth, and instead embrace the path of Stoic wisdom and inner peace. For in the journey of self-mastery lies the key to unlocking the boundless potential that lies within us all. But our journey does not end here. We invite you to join us on this path of self-discovery and inner transformation. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and embark on a journey of Stoic wisdom and inspiration. Together, let us build a community of like-minded individuals committed to living lives of purpose and virtue. Leave a comment below and share your thoughts on how Stoicism has impacted your life. Your voice matters, and together, we can inspire and uplift one another on the journey to self-mastery. Thank you for joining us on this quest for inner peace and fulfillment.